Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. This is La Ligue des Champions. We are back once again. The draw has been made for the 32 teams, and you know what's coming right now, don't you? You do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. You don't because it's the first intro. Let's get into it. La Ligue des Champions. Here's the intro. Everybody, welcome back to La Ligue des Champions. If you don't know what that means, I'm pretty sure you probably do. In French, that means the Champions League. This is the weekly show. Well, kind of a weekly show. We'll be talking about the group games every Wednesday night. So I think the 19th, 20th of September, I think the first show starts. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope I don't get copyrighted for that intro either. I thought, sod it, I'm going to do it. Why not? At the end of the day, because that's actually, the intro to the Champions League is actually a song written by a classical artist, English one. So that's copyrighted too. So yeah, that's the way it is. What we are going to do, we're going to quickly run through the groups and how they've come out, and we'll have a look at each group and what we think might happen. So if I can just get up, if I can, which is very difficult. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like, share, subscribe if you can and you are in the house. So, what have we got today? This is very exciting, especially from a Man United fan. Yes, I'm wearing an AC Milan top, but you know why? Because in every single country there is football, pretty much. I can't go through them all, but the ones that I like the most, I have a favourite team. So that's the way it is. Football fan first, all right? That's how it went for me. But look, Group A. Let's start off with Group A. Bayern Munich, Man United, Copenhagen, Galatasaray. Some people are calling this the group of death. For Man United, absolutely. And look, you'd look at it and you'd think predominantly Man United are probably going to get through. Bayern Munich are not quite up to how they used to be back in the mid noughties and even the mid. I don't even know what you call it. I used to call the noughties between 2000 and 2010 was the noughties. I don't know what you call it now, but say 2015, around that time when they won the Champions League, I think a few years after, didn't they? 2018 or something like that. I can't remember, but they have won it in between. They've done pretty well, to be fair. Give Bayern Munich credit, but at this moment in time, I don't know. I still think it's a little struggle, but I think it's a bigger struggle for Man United. I'm a Man United fan, and that kills me to say that. With Bayern Munich having Harry Kane and Kimmich, and looking like they're, could be getting rid of Gravenberch. He might be going to Liverpool or Man United, probably Liverpool, to be fair, which hurts me a lot. But they look like they're recruiting well, Bayern Munich. They're not doing what they used to do. Yes, they used to be a big player in the transfer market. Used to be able to buy players from all different clubs, but they don't quite do that anymore. I mean, you heard links of them for Scott McTominay, recently. At the end of the day, they're trying to build something on that 50+1 situation that they've got. I mean, we'll talk about another team in Germany that have made it for the first time in a Champions League later on, but this is a reason why Bundesliga is a fair game. The fact that you can't just go out and spend loads of money. Yes, Bayern Munich are always going to be the predominant team in the Bundesliga, but that's because of their history and their attractiveness for players around the world. Even if they don't hand out big wages, people want to go and play for Bayern Munich. That's just the way it is. So I think with this group, Copenhagen as well, and Galatasaray, of course, are trying to move things on in the Turkish league. They've bought quite a fair few players. Icardi from Inter Milan a couple of years ago, maybe last year, actually, to be fair. So Galatasaray not looking too bad. I think this is going to be a struggle for Man United. I was saying to Mr. B, if you saw not on the show earlier on, the Gunners from All Corners versus United Across the Globe, but we talked about this and the fact that Man United, remember when Ronaldo first came to us after his second stint anyway, we were pretty awful. And he was the only one that pretty much bailed us out. If you can remember that, I'm pretty sure you can. So I'm not really too confident. Look, I love Man United. Everyone knows I do, but I'm looking at it realistically, and I think for Man United, round 16, maybe the furthest stretch. It'd be lucky to get through that. Kind of like that PSG game that Man United played, where Rashford scored that penalty that took us through. It's very lucky. Good performance, but very lucky. How do I think Group A will look? Wow, that's a difficult one. Do I think Bayern Munich will be above Man United? I think so. I do think so. So I think it will end off Bayern Munich, Man United, Galatasaray, Copenhagen. That's how I'm looking at it. Excuse me. I need a cough. There we go. So that's what I think for Group A. Group B, Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV, and Lens. Of course, PSV beating Rangers. I think it was last night as well. Brilliant performance from them. Unfortunate for Rangers not to be in there with Celtic. We'll touch on that too. But good to see Ruud van Nistelrooy's team. Am I right in saying that Ruud van Nistelrooy is still the manager of PSV? I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah. What did they won the league last season, PSV? So you never know what's going to happen there. How do I see this happening though? This group, Sevilla, not doing too great. Did a good performance though against Man City in the Super Cup. Went on to penalties, just lost it by fraction. And I know it's just a charity game; it doesn't necessarily mean too much. But when you travel that far away and you're pretty much just starting the season like Man City did, it's a tough game. So Sevilla, that could be a surprise. I personally do think in this group, Group B, I think Arsenal will finish top. I think PSV might finish second, even though I think Sevilla have got a better chance. Absolutely do. Lens, however you want to pronounce it. I don't think they're getting through. I think it'll be fourth place for Lens. So yeah, Arsenal to top that group. In Group B, Group C, Napoli, Real Madrid, Braga, and Union Berlin. Now, what I was saying, we're doing a Bundesliga show next Friday, 7:00 p.m. We've got Union Berlin fans on as well, so this is going to be a really good show. Their first time in the Champions League. They had a terrific season last time in the Bundesliga. No one expected that they were going to be making Champions League. It's kind of like a Newcastle situation for them. But obviously not with the Saudi Arabian money, more like the blood money, because their fans literally got Union Berlin out of jail and saved the club by giving blood to the club. And that's why people say Union Berlin fans bleed for their football club. And they sold their money to keep their club afloat. And now they're in the Champions League. I think this is why the 50+1 thing really does work in the Bundesliga. And people think that, predominantly the beauty of the game lies within England because of the tier system and the fact that you can get teams like Luton to get to the Premier League who were in non-league years ago, not too long ago. But you get these sort of stories in Bundesliga as well. Because of that 50+1, it gives everybody else a chance to be able to get to somewhere like what Brighton have done in the Premier League, you know, push and elevate and push the bigger top 6, 7 teams and hopefully beat them sometimes. And yeah, I mean, fair play to Union Berlin. Braga, obviously from Portugal, good to be in there too. It's a difficult group though, with the champions of Serie A since the death of Maradona, might I add. Napoli, terrific season last year and doing quite well in the Champions League. People thought they would at least reach the final, and some people even tipped them to win. So maybe this season they'll be looking more at the Champions League than they will be Serie A, even though I think Serie A is definitely a runaway for them this season also, because Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan haven't really done too much in the transfer market, and Napoli kind of have. So if you're a winning team, they're the same colours as Man City, and they're winning leagues and they're progressing. I'm wearing an AC Milan shirt right now. They're not progressing. We'll talk about them though, of course, in a bit. But I'm thinking, of course, Real Madrid, 13, 14 times winners. I think they're definitely going to be top of that group. Napoli second, Union Berlin third. I know you lot of people think, why would you put Union Berlin above Braga? Braga have got more of a reputation, but Union Berlin are a struggle. Trust me, ask Bayern Munich, ask Dortmund last year, ask Schalke. Terrific team, honestly. And they are kind of like the Brighton of the Bundesliga, like I said. So Union Berlin third, Braga fourth. Smash the like, everybody, if you can. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I don't get copyrighted and this stream gets taken down. If it has, I apologize for wasting yours and my time on this show. But you got to try things out sometimes. And at the end of the day, we're pretty much advertising Champions League for the Champions League, for UEFA. So suck on that. Don't want to take me down when I'm trying to show people to go and watch it, do you? Anthony Herbert, big up, sweet cheeks. I think Arsenal are in a hard group, and hopefully we will pass the group stage into the next round. I think Arsenal have got a very good chance, Anthony. I know it has been a long time since Arsenal have been in it, and a lot of players in the Arsenal team haven't too. So it's very exciting for both sides and for the fans, of course. I think Arsenal will get through, mate. I honestly think Arsenal got a better chance of progressing further than Man United. And people will say, why am I being so negative about Man United? It's because I love them so much. And I can, when I see my kids doing drugs and they're looking cracked out of their face, I'll call it for how it is. All right. So that's how I deal with Man United. I'm not too pleased with Man United at the moment, and just everything about Man United, to be fair. I love them, though. I'll never trade anything in. Honestly, love Man United to death. So it's horrible for me. Question, Matt, how far do you think Man United will get in this competition? Round 16? If we get past round 16, I'll be like, oh my God, it's luck all the way. It's luck all the way. There's no way we could challenge with Real Madrid. There's no way we could challenge with Man City. There's no real way that we could challenge with a lot of clubs that are in this competition this year. But you never know, do you? You look at Chelsea and the times that they won it, they didn't have the best teams either. You know, cruising through that Nou Camp win against Barcelona back in 2013, was it? Yeah, brilliant from them. Like, you know what I mean? You didn't expect it. And the second time they won it as well, like you didn't expect them to get through, and they went on to win it against Man City, who then eventually went on to win their first one. So anything can happen, can't it? Yeah, round 16, Anthony. Who would you think will win the Champions League and why? Who do I think will win the Champions League and why? I've got a weird feeling about Bayern Munich this year. It's not just because of Harry Kane either. It just feels like there's something they're really trying to go for. And we've still got, 24 hours in the transfer window for English clubs, or might be British, but predominantly English. So you never know what might happen, who they might get, who they might swap, and what their team might look like next week. And if you want to know what their team looks like next week, then tune in next Friday, 7 p.m. on this channel for the Bundesliga chat on Football United Airways. Got some special guests coming on, Union Berlin fans. It'll be really good. Peter Bosch, I hope I pronounced that. Bosch is the new PSV manager. Yeah, see, I got it wrong. Sorry, apologies. I said Ruud van Nistelrooy, didn't I? Absolutely wrong about that. I haven't been keeping up to date with the Eredivisie recently. I know he was definitely the PSV manager last season, was he not? Or am I getting it completely wrong here? Let me know. Geordie, hello, what's up? Big up, Geordie. How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for tuning in. What do you think about Newcastle's chances this season? We are going to touch on it as we're going through the groups. Big up, Geordie. And he says, big up, Anthony. Okay, so looking at Group D. Group D here, Benfica, Inter Milan, Salzburg, and Real Sociedad. I love the Basque Country in Spain, don't we all? But just because you love the location, does it mean that they're going to do good on their locations away and home? Maybe not. Who knows? Inter Milan, well, last year's runners-up, lost a few players, especially one of their star players in that final, who's obviously gone to Man United. That's Onana. Benfica, God, I mean, the talent that they bring out in Benfica, you don't quite know exactly what's going to happen in the Champions League with Benfica. They did quite well last season as well. Don't we remember that? So on this one, I can't even say anything about Salzburg. Yes, they have a really good link with RB Leipzig and Red Bull New York, and yeah, they could do something, absolutely. But they haven't got a Haaland anymore. So maybe Salzburg last. I'm going to say Salzburg last, Real Sociedad third. I'm going to say Benfica top and Inter Milan second. There you go. I'm going to put that in there. Inter Milan second, Benfica top. Okay. We got another hit. We are in UEFA Champions League after 20 years and directly into a group of death. Well, of course you would be, because I think the whole structure of the Champions League and how the groups work is, I mean, if you haven't been in it predominantly, then you will be facing a lot of big teams. Look at Man City. Look at their group. We'll go into that. It's very easy. Why is it easy? Because they've been in it like every year for many years now. I don't think they've not been in it for quite some time. Has it been like maybe 9 or 10 years that Man City have been in it every single season? Maybe. Someone could look. I'm not going to look up these stats. You can't look up every single stat before you do a show, so I have to push these out to you in the comments, and you can come back to me on it. But I think it's probably been like 9 or 10 years they've been in the Champions League every single season. In 2013, I'm pretty sure they would have made Champions League from 2013 to 2023. Benfica and Real Sociedad. You think them two are going to go through, Geordie? Real Sociedad. Right, that's cool. That's cool. Yes, they've got Tierney in. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. I need to go to San Sebastian, actually, and check out the new stadium. I did a vlog, actually, a few years ago where I was at the reconstruction. And, yeah, it looked like a shithole. But it did before, to be honest, when I went to Real Sociedad before they started building the new part of it. And yeah, it's very, very out the way. If you've ever been to San Sebastian, it's a beautiful place to go. They filmed Romeo and Juliet there. You know, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, Claire Dantes, I think her name is. Yeah, but that's where they filmed some of that. There you go. I had to throw that little bit of trivia in there. So what other groups are we looking at? Group E, aren't we? Interesting times. Group E, Feyenoord, Atletico de Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. Celtic, group of death for them. Bloody hell, how are you going to get out of that? Yes, Lazio, amazing for them to get in the Champions League as well, because they've been missing out for a few seasons. Back in it, Atletico Madrid as well. Not back in it, but, you know, they've reached a few finals. They're a predominant team. Feyenoord had a good season last season. What do I think is going to happen here? It's difficult, isn't it? Atletico Madrid top. I reckon Lazio second. I reckon Feyenoord third. And I reckon Celtic fourth. I don't think Celtic are going to make the Europa League. It's quite crazy to say that, isn't it? You're in the Champions League and you're looking at what your chances are to get into the Europa League. It's not very good, is it? But be honest, with Man United, I'm like, well, maybe that's for us too, isn't it? So that's what I'm thinking. Geordie's thinking Atletico and Feyenoord, if not Lazio. Okay, well, give us your reasons why. I said obviously Atletico Madrid at the top, and I think Lazio second. Because I don't know. I think it's 50-50 between Feyenoord and Lazio, to be fair. The way that the teams look up and the way they set up, etc., and how they do in their domestic leagues, I think that's a 50-50. But I think with Atletico Madrid and the fact that they're playing against a much better Barcelona and Real Madrid team than they have been in the last few years, it's probably the reason why Atletico Madrid won that league during that time when Real Madrid and Barcelona were done for like the financial fair play and the wage cap of 200 million. I think that affected them, and that's why Atletico Madrid won that league. And yeah, you've seen them getting in Champions League finals as well. So I think Atletico Madrid have got a good chance. I don't think they've got a good chance in La Liga. I think it's a lot more difficult than it has been, like I just said. Anthony says, should it be top 5 in the Champions League this season, Matt, with Man City winning it and also the Prem maybe? Well, it's going to be next year, isn't it? Apparently it could be. And the only reason why it could be 5 teams next season is how the 5th team does in their domestic league compared to other domestic leagues. So I guess it depends on what the team does in La Liga that's in that position where they could get in the Champions League. And if they're better than... I guess it makes competition during the league between other teams in other leagues around Europe. Because you could be sitting there in... I don't know. You could be sitting there in 5th position, be like, yeah, there's no one behind us. Well, when the 6 is never going to catch us up, so we've definitely got Champions League. But you might not have, because if there's another team, say in La Liga, let's say, I don't know, Sevilla or Villarreal, or like you say, Real Sociedad, that are in 5th and they've got better points than whoever is in the Premier League that's 5th, then that might be the reason why they get in over you. I think that's how it works. That's what I heard today from an expert on Champions League. So we'll see if he was right, because I'm literally quoting that back. Smash the like, share, subscribe if you can, please. And check out our Gunners from All Corners versus United Across the Globe vlog that we did tonight at 7 o'clock. It was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Banter, yeah, it was good. Should it be top 5? I've done that already. Atleti are not playing parking the bus anymore. They're not, because I think you have to, with Atletico Madrid, like they've done that for a while. Diego Simeone like implemented that, because you're looking at teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, like, you know, late noughties, early 2013, 14, 15, sort of at that time, where there was no real other way of beating these teams. You couldn't go toe to toe. You'd have to try and win it another way. Maybe the Mourinho style was what Diego Simeone was trying to do. And look, they got a couple of... He got at least two La Ligue trophies, and he got into a Champions League final, right? I think so. Well, no, he definitely did get into one, but maybe he got into 2. My memory's terrible. It's like a fish sometimes. Apologies for that, but I think I'm right. They got into at least 1. They lost to Real Madrid, didn't they? And you got to give them credit, because they are known. Atletico Madrid will tell you that the unluckiest team, if not in La Liga, in the world. So it is what it is. I can't even remember what group we were on. Group F. We're going into Group F. Paris, Saint-Germain, Dortmund, Milan, and Newcastle. Here we go, Geordie. This is for you. Where do I think this is going to end up, this group? Tricky, very sticky indeed. Oh, I mean, you say it's the group of death, but at the end of the day, like, I'll be honest, because I love AC Milan and Serie A. Like, back in the 90s, like watching Gol Lazio, you remember that? They were my favorite. They had amazing players from Brazil, Italy, Maldini's, you got your Cafu's, you got Gattuso there as well, and I could go on and on, really, couldn't I? I could go on and on. There's too many to even recommend on AC Milan and in the history, but Dortmund haven't been too impressive either. To be fair, they've lost Bellingham this season as well. Obviously, he'll be playing for Real Madrid. He's been fantastic for Real Madrid, hasn't he, recently? So what do I think? Paris Saint-Germain, I mean, to be fair, they're looking much better than they have been because they've got rid of the mercenaries like Messi and Neymar's gone now, and Mbappe will be going eventually. So I don't know. I don't think it's Paris Saint-Germain year this year. I do not. I think I'm going to go with Geordie. You're going to like this. You're going to like this, aren't you? Right. I'm going to go with. It's difficult. I'm going to go with Dortmund. Dortmund up top, Newcastle second, and that probably. I think Newcastle could win it, but I think for their first time in it, I'll just put them as second, and I think AC Milan third, and Paris Saint-Germain fourth. There you go. Probably completely wrong on that. I know PSG have still got a decent team. AC Milan did quite good last season, to be fair. They reached the semi-finals with Inter Milan, so you can't knock them off. But they have lost a few players this season, and with the financial situation in Serie A, it doesn't look too good, does it? So can't do much about that. He says Dortmund bottling it again. Yeah, but they have won the Champions League once, though, Jordy. You got to give them some sort of credit. Bayern Munich has been predominant for winning Champions League and Bundesliga, and in between that time, I think it was 97, and Müller, I remember, because I think he won 96 for Germany, didn't he? And then he won the Champions League for Dortmund, which was very hurtful. But what a player! What a player. Football Power Hours says, big up, Geordie. He also says, realistically, PSG and Milan, but my heart says PSG and Newcastle. Okay, fair enough. I'd like Milan. Like I said, I'd prefer Milan to go through, but I don't think they will. I don't. I think Dortmund and Newcastle, and it'll be maybe Dortmund top, Newcastle second. Just because I think Dortmund, with like the teams that they've had in the past, which haven't been like, let's be honest, they haven't bought players like Bayern Munich do, but their talent, their academy's very decent. And we will be talking about it next week, of course. So do tune in at 7 p.m. next Friday when we talk about Bundesliga. But you can't knock them off. I know just because Jude Bellingham's left, Sancho left, that everybody thinks in the last few years Dortmund are nothing to look at, but don't get it twisted. They nearly won the league last season in Bundesliga. I think it was on the last day or so. They dropped it. Bottle jobs. You could call them bottle jobs. Geordie, I think Newcastle are going through, mate. I think you've got a terrific team. And even though it's your first time in, I don't think you maybe getting first. It might be a struggle. You might do. I think it will be close. I think it might come down to the last game. But yeah, I think Newcastle getting through. I can see Newcastle going out, but I do think they'll dominate the Europa League. Would you take that, Geordie? Look, if you finished, what is it? Is it second, isn't it, to get in Europa League, right? I think. Or, no, it isn't second. If you get second, you have to go into a round of 32, isn't it? So third place is round 32 of Europa League if you get third place. So would you take that, Geordie? I mean, anybody would. Man United would take that. I've taken that a few times. I think one of the times we won the Europa League, maybe not. I should never go off on their head like this. Ask and answer my own questions. It's not a good look. But I think the year we won the Europa League, we might have been in the Champions League that year, but I'm not too sure. I can't remember. But there's been plenty of times, unfortunately, in Man United's recent history where that's happened. Smash the like, share, subscribe if you can. We've got two more groups to go through. I'm not one of those sorts of characters, please. Two more groups to go through. And let's look at it. Group G, Man City, RB Leipzig, Cervena Zvezda. That's a lovely name. That's a tongue twister, that one. And Young Boys. We all remember Young Boys, Man United fans, don't you? You do indeed. It was horrible. What do I think is going to happen in this group? Well, it doesn't take too much, really, does it? Man City top, I think, absolutely will. No chance they're going to be third or fourth, is there? Could be potentially second. Leipzig are not too bad. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go roughly the order it looks like, but I'm going to put Young Boys in third for Europa League, and then Savannah Zvezda in fourth position. That's what I'm doing for Group G. Looking at the comments here, yeah, I also think we might end up third spot. I would take any European tournament. Happy to be back after many years into the European tour. It's a very decent comment, Geordie, mate, because it'd be the same for me. If you finish bottom of the group, yeah, it'd be miserable. I don't think you want to go out of any European stage just playing 6 games and then ducking out. So it'd be nice. Like, look, why am I speaking like Newcastle were going to finish third? I don't think they will. I think they'll be first or second. I think they'll be in the Champions League round 16, absolutely. Or if not, round 32, right? If you finish second. I don't know how. I'm getting so confused because next season as well, the whole format changes. So remember, you got to keep up to scratch with what FIFA are doing. Goodness me. Yeah, happy to be back. That's all that matters, isn't it? Straightforward. City and Leipzig. Yeah, exactly. I think so. But who's going to get in Europa League places? I think, well, round 32 Europa League. I think Young Boys will get the third position. I think they will. Looking at Group H, if you are tuning in, please smash the like, share, subscribe. If you can, it won't hurt, I promise. We'll be back for another show on Sunday with 2 shows on Sunday. The Premier League weekend show with Anthony and Rich. And we've got Theta show talking about the MLS with Marley, Johnny and co. And obviously what I should be doing really as well, and I apologize for not actually having this set up, but we have a partnership and sponsorship with Galasso Kits. So if I can just share this up for you very, 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 very quickly. Galasso Kits is who we're in partnership with. You can get discount if you watch the Theta show on Sunday. It's about 11 o'clock p.m. UK time. Yes, quite late, but if you can stay up for an hour until midnight, that'd be much appreciated because you will enjoy it. They're really good shows. Guests on from all over the Americas because we're talking all about football in the Americas. It's the Theta show. And if you go onto this site, Galasso Kits, you'll be able to get a discount of 15%. The promo code will be in the show, so you have to watch the show. If you really want to scroll through it after the show and try and find it, you're very smart, you're very clever, you can do that. But if you do watch it and you wait for it, then thank you very much. But these are just some of the shirts that you can get, and thousands upon thousands of shirts. So if you could, please go and check that out. That would be amazing. So I just wanted to go on to the last group now, didn't we? That was the whole point of we're here. Looking at the groups. Group H, Barcelona, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Antwerp of Belgium. Well, I feel sorry for Shakhtar. I think they're playing their football in Poland. I think that's where they're going to be playing their home games in the Champions League. I mean, it's amazing the fact that a team from Ukraine are still playing. And to be fair, they probably generate more money at this moment in time than Celtic do. I think, what was it? Someone was saying today that the Dutch league gains about 130, 150 million in revenue. And all the Scottish leagues combined, I think they get in revenue from like televised rights, 30 million. It's a gap, isn't it? So, I mean, give it up to teams from Holland, but give it up to Shakhtar Donetsk as well to be able to still be playing. And they've lost a lot of players. You heard about Mudryk going to Chelsea and a few players this season as well. And, you know, they've been in turmoil, haven't they, with the fact that they can't even play in their home country. But that's another story for another day. I hope they do well. Barcelona are picking up things as well, looking like they might be contending to the very last moment in La Liga. Porto are in there too. How am I looking at this? I mean, Antwerp, I think, will be finishing bottom exactly where they are. In fact, I think that's exactly how that group's going to finish up. Barcelona top, Porto second, Shakhtar Donetsk third, and Antwerp fourth. Now, I did put a poll in. So let's see. I've got 5 votes here in the poll. Will all 4 English teams reach the round 16? 40% says yes, and 60% says no out of 5 votes so far, which we're going to be finishing the show off anyway. So that's pretty much the end of that. But who we got in here now? I just want to read out a few comments. Geordie, Barca, Porto easy as well, and Antwerp third. Antwerp third. Yeah, you think Shakhtar Donetsk are going to finish fourth? Fair enough. That's absolutely fine. Does anybody else have anything else to say before we go? I think this is very interesting. This Champions League next year, we are going to have a different outcome or a different outlook to the Champions League next season. So enjoy it while it's still there. And of course, is it? Yes, next season, 24-25, 2025, the World Club Cup, hosting in America. 32 teams, summer competition. Football's changing, people. Football is absolutely changing, for the good or for the bad. You can let us know. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. It's been great. It's really hard to do shows on your own sometimes, chat about things. It's only the start of the season, so I can't really specifically tell you everything about every single team right now. But as we go through the Champions League shows, you'll find out much, much more about these teams, and so will I too. I think the next show will be on the 20th of September. We've got an international break coming up as well. So I hope you tune in for that. We'll be straight after the games as well. So it'll be a 9:45 p.m. start on the 20th of September. So do tune in. We'll have guests on too. It won't just be me on my own. I just wanted to run through the groups and just have a little chat with you lot. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Anthony says, yeah, looking forward next season for the Champions League, but top 5 is a lot. I think it's good. I think, look, to be fair, I know it's different. People say, how can it be a Champions League when you've got 5 teams in it that are not champions of their own domestic league? I get it, but you want good football. And I think the way, like I said, they're working it out earlier is if you finish 5th and compared to other teams in other leagues like La Liga, Serie A, the Eredivisie, the Bundesliga, Ligue 1, if you compare a better finish in 5th than they do, then you get the qualification. So it kind of like makes there more competition with other clubs that are not even in your league during the league. So games that you play in the Premier League, the last 3 or 4 games, if you're sitting comfortably in 5th, it could depend on how you finish the league. So you can't just have an easy finish. That's how I'm looking at it. And that's what I'm hearing as well. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This video will probably be taken down because of that intro, but I had to give it a go. Why not? Thank you, everybody, once again. Smash a like, share, subscribe. We will see you, like I said, on Sunday with Anthony's show, the Premier League Weekend Show with Rich, and the Theta Show, Football in the Americas. We're talking about the MLS. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm off on a bloody good breakaway for this weekend. I'm not going to be about for the whole weekend, but I'll be joining Football Power Hour next Friday, hopefully, and a few other people too next weekend. So tune in everywhere, and thank you for tuning in here. Until next time, people, have a pleasant weekend. Enjoy the football before the international break starts, And yeah, take care, everybody. Bye bye.